to the Self-Made Training Facility Comeback Series. Chandler's not with us today. He's still alive, but he will be on with next week on with us. Christina's going to be here talking about postpartum, prenatal fitness, her journey, and how her journey is now impacting and influencing others. So, Christina, how old's your baby?
She is 2 and 4 months now.
Dang.
So time flies.
Yeah?
Yes.
What's your favorite part about being a new mommy?
It's hard to just pick just one thing. It's definitely softened me as a person, and
You're
it really
kind of cold-hearted bee, huh?
But yeah, no, it's softened me as a person, and it kind of brings you back to being more childlike and reliving your childhood, and that's just been really fun over the years.
Fun, yeah. Make you smile at least once or twice a year, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you just started a new course, or you've been doing a new course. What was that one? For your continuing
So
education.
I got my pre and postnatal certification when I got pregnant. So that I've had for the past few years. And now I've just started a new one, which is the menopause specialist.
All right.
Yes,
Cool. Also, we'll do an episode on that one too. Mm-hmm. So as far as pre and postnatal fitness goes, what are some misconceptions that maybe they're in both of those time frames? And what are some things that you would like to teach or correct that people may have wrong as a society as far as it goes with fitness?
Well, a lot of people think that you can't continue resistance training or working out while you are pregnant, or you have to scale it back, which really isn't the case. But the reason I pursued that certification is because prior to becoming pregnant, I was very in tune with my body. I was doing my preps. I was doing my shows. I knew what foods worked with my body, how training affected my body. And then once I became pregnant, it was like I no longer had control over what was happening to my body. And so I was very interested in getting more education in that area because, all of a sudden I had joint pain. All of a sudden I had carpal tunnel. All of a sudden, I didn't like meat anymore. So a lot of the things that used to work for me, I had to learn how to adapt and navigate.
And do you feel like after doing that course and after obviously experiencing it yourself that you would now be able to say you have another kid or something like that, would you have more control? Or do you think it's just learning that you will have no control is the most important part?
It's being able to accept that you're going to have to adapt the plan. And to just let women know that, you don't have to stop. It's be flexible in your training. And that's what I like to bring to my coaching now that I maybe didn't before. Before I was like, okay, this is the plan. You got to stick to your macros. You got to.
This is the only way, right?
Yes. And I'd be like, okay, well, if you can't stick to your macros, how do you expect to make progress? And as a mom, things are not always going to be perfect.
Right. No matter how hard you try.
No matter how hard you try.
Right. So one of the questions we have was like your purpose, right? So you've always been very independent since the many years I've known you. But now you have this little life that is dependent on you, right?
Yes.
So how has motherhood redefined your purpose? Whether it's not just your purpose for yourself, but like motherhood is going to change how you see the world and as far as your business goes as well, too. So how has it redefined Christina's purpose?
You just learned that you need to the more you can take care of yourself and fill your own cup, the better you can pour into other people. And
it's hard as a mom, though, because you're always
very hard.
Give, right?
Yes. And to be able, it's easy for people to say, oh, just make time for yourself. Oh, do some self-care. Well, it's easier said than done. And like when you find time for yourself, that is like sacred time. And I understand that more for my mom clients too, that the hour they have to come in here and spend time for themselves, I want to make the most of that because that might be the only hour that they have to really take care of themselves.
Have you noticed anything with like new mothers or maybe women that had like older children now that you may train that have like a new baby and it's like, oh, going through this again. So you're like weird little things they do, like you may like leave the cell phone, or just so that that 1 hour is like not interrupted by anything else outside world.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah,
I give
okay.
them grace because sometimes you gotta
Right.
have the phone during the session. But it's just for me to remind them, through movement, through our exercise, to be present in their body and make. And the workout also doesn't have to be perfect. That's another thing that I learned as a mom trying to work out on my own. Is sometimes you don't even have the full hour. You might only have like 20 minutes. So how can we make the 20 minutes sufficient? And that's still okay.
Right. I think just in general, getting to the gym or doing something is that like little W, right? That little win for the day, right? And so when you have that as a mom or even as like a dad, watching your kid, you could have that 15, 20, 30 minutes is going to be, you'd rather use it, take advantage of it to get in the habit that when you have that opportunity, you take it. Right. Same thing with like anything social too, because there's probably a lot of women too that crawl into like a little hole after having their kid, and they don't, they aren't as social, and everything's about the baby. Like you said, they forget about themselves.
That happened to me. That happened to me.
There you go.
Yeah. Before coming back to work, because I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years. And during that 2 years, I did start training some clients in my garage, women in my neighborhood. But I was finding that I was starting to hermit. I was staying in the house, and in between those four walls, that was my world. And it was very important for me to eventually come back here.
Yeah.
Because prior to having my daughter, this is where I built a lot of my identity. A lot of my value was in building my business and in giving to other people. And to kind of stop that, to pursue something else, I had to learn how to find my identity and value in another environment.
So now you have value in two places.
Two places.
At least more than
Yes.
two places, I'm sure. But big value provide both at home and here. So let's talk about building your business. And are you focusing more so on the pre and postnatal and now the menopausal age women as far as training goes with the new certifications and the continuing education that you're doing? Or are you still accepting all client types? What are you doing for your business right now?
I specifically help women, all ages, all stages of life. But what I feel most passionately about, and in coming back to work and kind of rebranding my business, I feel most passionately about helping women in those transitioning phases of life. So whether that's pre-postnatal, and then also with the perimenopausal and menopausal women, that was also just naturally, I was finding more of my clients were in that
We're going
category.
through that as they got older,
yes.
right? Yeah.
And for them, I feel for them because, as a woman, your body's always going through a transition. And for them, I would hear them complain, oh my God, I used to be able to work out like this and eat like this. And now my body's changing and none of that is working for me. So to help them through that frustration as well and help them feel empowered in their body is really where I feel most passionate.
Now, if you leave us with maybe like one or two tips that you learned through the different phases of pregnancy, say 2 prenatal tips and 2 posts for those first, obviously the 9 months and then the first few months after, that you maybe, when you look back, you wish that you would have heard or learned, because there's a million baby books, there's a million opinions, there's a million ways to do things, and there's going to be right or wrong depending on your situation, but maybe leave these ladies with some 2 tips for both of those stages, before and after having the baby.
Like fitness tips or just
you
all
can do
together?
both. You go mentality, fitness, whatever.
And this may be controversial, but I'm going to say, because it might resonate with somebody, that it is okay if you do not love being pregnant. I know that's going to come off very controversial, but a lot of women will come up to you and say, oh my gosh, don't you just love being pregnant? And it is okay to be honest if you are just not loving the process. You don't have to be ashamed of that.
I'm fat, I'm angry, I'm hot, I'm cold.
I was not in the best mood all the time, and that is okay. But I did feel the pressure to pretend and say, "Oh yeah, I love it." As far as fitness goes, you're going to be nauseous, you're going to be tired, you're going to feel like not moving, but any sort of movement is going to make you feel better. It doesn't have to be this great workout. Going through the motions and just moving your body can really go far, like mentally as well.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So that's mostly during. Now, what about after? Those the first, say, like 2 months while your body's healing, and the mentality switches the minute you see that baby. I'm sure you're like straight mother mode, right? Mm-hmm. So what are 2 little tips or things too controversial? I love controversial. If you got something controversial, throw that shit out. But 2 things you have to comment on about
postnatal,
that after.
You just need to give yourself grace because the hormones are going crazy. And get the help if you need help. Like, lean on your village. It really does take a village. And just give yourself time. There's no pressure to bounce back. As a former competitor, I did also feel the pressure to get my body back. Am I going to get on stage soon? And just give yourself, your body's healing. And yeah, be patient. Be patient through that process.
Controversial and wise words from Christina. Well, you mentioned having a village to lean on. So Christina is a great village leader that we have here at Self-Made. Like I said, she's very independent. She's got her little dependent. She has a lot of clients that depend on her, and she is very dependable. So we love Christina here, and we're lucky to have her. Looking forward to her growth in 2026. And we'll obviously drop in more. She'll be on here twice a month is what we're going to try and do for her. And she's going to go through more prenatal, postpartum, and menopausal information. But we're also going to talk more about her and her regrowth of her business and talk about getting her back on stage.
I think, maybe 2.5 years is enough time to be
can't
patient.
say your baby made you fat. Can't use that excuse anymore. All right, guys, we're going to check out now. We'll see you next time on the Comeback Series for Self-Made Training Facility.